Do you ever feel like your cat suddenly pulls away from you, even though you're trying to show them love? Most cat owners think the bond with their cat is simple. You feed them. You pet them. You give them a warm place to sleep. So of course they should love being around you, right? But here's the uncomfortable truth most people never hear. Some of the things we do every single day, thinking they are harmless, are actually the exact behaviors cats dislike the most. And the worst part? Your cat will almost never tell you directly. Instead, they slowly create distance, sleep farther away, or stop seeking your attention. Today we're breaking down 7 everyday things your cat secretly hates, and number 7 is the one mistake that damages the bond between cats and humans more than anything else. Let's start with the one almost everyone does without thinking. 1. Constantly staring at your cat. Have you ever caught your cat staring at you from across the room? Your first instinct is usually to stare back. Maybe you even hold eye contact for a few seconds, trying to connect. But in the world of cats, that moment means something completely different. Direct eye contact without blinking is actually a challenge in feline body language. In the wild, cats use intense staring as a sign of dominance or threat. So when you lock eyes with your cat and hold that stare, your cat's brain might interpret it as confrontation, even if you're just being affectionate. Researchers studying cat communication have found that cats respond far more positively when humans soften their gaze or blink slowly. That's why cats often give what's known as a slow blink. It's basically their way of saying, "I trust you." So if you want your cat to feel comfortable around you, try this instead. Next time your cat looks at you, blink slowly and look slightly away. You're telling them something powerful in their own language. You're telling them, "I'm safe." And once you start doing that regularly, you may notice your cat lingering around you more often. But if you think eye contact is the biggest mistake people make, wait until you hear number 4, because that's something millions of cat owners unknowingly do every single day. 2. Petting your cat the wrong way. Most people assume cats love being petted anywhere. But that's not actually true. Cats have very specific areas where touch feels comforting, and other areas where it feels overwhelming or even threatening. The safest spots are usually under the chin, or behind the ears, or along the base of the tail. But areas like the belly or paws can be extremely sensitive. When you suddenly touch those spots, your cat's nervous system reacts instantly. That's why a cat that was purring 1 second can suddenly grab your hand or nip you the next. It's not aggression. It's communication. Your cat is basically saying, "That's enough." Experts who study feline behavior have found that many cats experience something called petting-induced overstimulation. In simple terms, too much touching can make their nervous system feel overloaded. The trick is learning to read your cat's signals. Watch for signs like tail flicking, ears turning sideways, or skin twitching on their back. Those are early warnings that your cat has had enough. Stop before they feel the need to defend themselves. And suddenly, your cat will start trusting your touch again. 3. Ignoring your cat when they want attention. Cats have a reputation for being independent. But that reputation is actually misleading. Studies on domestic cats show that many cats prefer human interaction even more than food. Yes, food. So when your cat walks over and rubs against your leg, they're not just wandering around randomly. They are initiating social contact. But many owners accidentally reject this moment. Maybe you're on your phone. Maybe you're busy. Maybe you absent-mindedly push them away. From your perspective, it feels like nothing. But to your cat, that moment mattered. Cats remember patterns. When their attempts for connection are repeatedly ignored, they eventually stop trying. That's why some cats suddenly seem distant. It didn't happen overnight. It happened slowly. One ignored interaction at a time. Even 10 seconds of attention, a gentle scratch behind the ears, or a soft greeting, can reinforce your bond with them. And if you're starting to see your cat's behavior differently right now, consider subscribing. Because understanding these small signals can completely change the relationship you have with your cat. And speaking of signals, the next mistake is one that actually confuses your cat's instincts entirely. 4. Playing with your cat the wrong way. Have you ever waved a toy in front of your cat, only for them to stare at it like it's the most boring thing they've ever seen? It's not that your cat doesn't want to play. It's that the play doesn't feel real. Cats are natural hunters. Their brains are wired for a very specific sequence. Stalk, chase, pounce, capture. But when toys move randomly in front of their face without that natural progression, their hunting instincts don't activate. That's why many cats ignore toys entirely. The secret is making the toy behave like prey. Instead of shaking it in place, drag it behind furniture. Let it hide. Make it pause, then dart away suddenly. When your cat crouches low and their pupils widen, you've activated their predator instincts. And something amazing happens when that instinct is fulfilled regularly. Cats who get daily hunting-style play sessions tend to be calmer, more affectionate, and more confident, because their most natural instinct is being satisfied. Just 5 minutes a day can completely transform your cat's mood. But the next mistake might be the most surprising one on this list, because it involves something many cat owners believe is a sign of love. 5. Picking up your cat too often. Some cats enjoy being held, but many actually hate it. From a human perspective, lifting your cat feels affectionate. But from your cat's perspective, it can feel like losing control. Cats are creatures that value stability and control over their environment. When you suddenly lift them off the ground, they lose both. That's why many cats tense up the moment they are picked up. Some tolerate it politely. Others immediately try to escape. And over time, a cat that gets picked up frequently without choosing it may begin avoiding you altogether. The key difference is choice. When cats climb onto your lap themselves, they feel safe. When they are lifted unexpectedly, they feel trapped. So instead of grabbing your cat for cuddles, try inviting them instead. Sit down. Pat your lap. Let them decide. When the choice is theirs, the bond becomes much stronger. And now we're getting close to the one mistake that cats dislike more than almost anything else. But before we get to that, there's one small habit that can completely change how your cat greets you. 6. Approaching your cat too quickly. Imagine someone suddenly reaching toward your face without warning. Even if they meant well, it would feel uncomfortable. Cats experience something very similar. When humans move quickly toward them, especially from above, it can trigger a defensive reaction. That's because predators in the wild often attack from above. So when your hand suddenly appears over your cat's head, their brain reacts instinctively. Instead, try approaching your cat slowly. Extend one finger toward their nose and let them initiate contact. When they rub their face against your hand, they are marking you with their scent. That's your cat saying, "You're part of my world." But now we've reached the most important mistake of all. And it's something almost every cat owner has done countless times. 7. Interrupting your cat while they're resting. This might be the one thing your cat hates the most. Cats sleep between 12 and 16 hours a day. But sleep isn't just rest for them. It's when their body regulates stress, restores energy, and processes everything happening in their environment. When your cat chooses a sleeping spot, they are making a very important decision. They are deciding where they feel safe enough to let their guard down completely. So when we suddenly wake them up, move them, or pick them up because they look cute, we unintentionally break that sense of security. Cats that are repeatedly disturbed during sleep often start finding hidden sleeping spots instead. Under beds, inside closets, on high shelves. It's not that they love those places more. It's that they feel safer there. The simplest way to build trust with your cat is surprisingly easy. When your cat is sleeping, just let them sleep. Walk past quietly. Respect the space they chose. Because to a cat, uninterrupted sleep in a safe place is one of the strongest signals of trust they can have. And when your cat truly trusts you, you'll notice something incredible. They won't just sleep near you. They'll start sleeping right next to you. And in the world of cats, that's one of the deepest forms of love they can show.